I think it's the end of the road for Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray. Just as Raj Thackeray has fallen behind in Maharashtra's politics many years ago, I think it's time for Uddhav Thackeray to call it quits. And there is absolutely no doubt about the fact that BJP has stolen a march over its political adversaries in a very vicious way, in a very vitriolic way, in a very unconstitutional way. If I will not be shocked and I will not be surprised if Samajwadi Party also splits and a large chunk of them will go with the BJP. What the only outside chance of the opposition being able to defeat the BJP in 2029 is
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. The move by 6 MPs from the Shiv Sena UBT to form a separate parliamentary group has reignited discussions around Operation Tiger, indicating that after the historic split in Shiv Sena in 2022, engineered by Eknath Shinde, Uddhav Thackeray may now face another setback. The big question is not why the 6 want to leave, but why this is happening now. This was not an overnight development. Now, preparations had been underway, what we are told, for months, during which time behind closed door contact between the want-away MPs and the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena camp was maintained. Both sides waited for the right political opportunity. Now, over the past 1 year almost, the rebel MPs I'm told had been in touch and they have been visiting Mumbai and Delhi quite often. Thackeray Sena repeatedly denied any talk of the rifts in its ranks. Now, until recently, Shiv Sena UBT leaders publicly claimed that the party remained united. But what the political observers noted was that the last round of such speculation was not followed by strong denials from the Shinde camp. Moreover, Shinde's recent political engagements and confident body language only strengthened the perception that something significant was in the works. And what you can also find on the social media today is that there are billboards and posters of Operation Tiger put up across Pune and also in several parts of Mumbai, which means that they are trying to glorify this split. But what does it mean for Uddhav Thackeray? Will he go the Mamta way? Is he going to face an existential crisis? And what does it mean for other political parties in Maharashtra? Say, for example, NCP. Could that be on the axe? Is that going to be the next move? What about Akhilesh Yadav? Because Om Prakash Rajbar today, he signaled that it's very clear that the Samajwadi Party is just waiting to split. All these reports are there, but we'll try and find out answers to this big Maharashtra question, the big split, which is underway at the moment. Joining me this evening is veteran journalist and political commentator from Nagpur, Vivek Deshpande joins us. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining. And did you also hear of gossips where Uddhav Thackeray's party could go for a second split like what we are seeing right now? Was there something which was in the works in the political corridors?
No, I think it was in the air for quite some time, but not exactly for the last about 7-8 months or 1 year or 2 years. This kind of course, in case of Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena, it was not very much expected because this party has already split once. That was in 2022. Right, and a large chunk of the party MLAs and MPs and even ordinary workers, they shifted loyalty to Eknath Shinde's camp. So this has happened once with the original Shiv Sena led by Uddhav Thackeray. Now the original Shiv Sena officially is Eknath Shinde's, but in the public mind, the original Shiv Sena is still with Uddhav Thackeray. Now it has happened once. Nobody was expecting it to happen second time. This is the first party in India which is being split second time. in a span of 4 years. So it was not expected, because the thing is, those who wanted to go with Shinde, they've already gone. And a very big chunk has already shifted loyalty to Shinde's camp. So the normal expectation is that those remaining with Uddhav Thackeray, they were not afraid of any ED CBI raids. They were not afraid. They were not enticed by huge sums of money, which were actually changed hands during the Shinde split. So they were not. They were not kind of very given to allurement of money. They were not shifting their loyalty because they wanted to remain with Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena. Certainly, if 6 of these MPs change their mind and they are trying to shift towards Eknath Shinde's camp, what does it mean? It means that what the BJP is doing over the last so many years, everybody knows. The tactics that BJP does, the use of money, muscle power, everything that the BJP does is fairly well known in the political circles of the country. But if those people who had stayed put with Uddhav Thackeray all these years, despite that 2022 split, if a large majority of them, 6 of them, if they are trying to shift loyalty to Eknath Shinde after 4 years, it means that there is something lacking in the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena. It doesn't simply show us, the depths to which the politics has fallen. It also shows us that those in the opposition are falling short of expectations of the people. They are falling short of their own brand of politics, being unable to control and check these splits which are happening every now and then now. So Uddhav Thackeray clearly has fallen short of the expectations of these MPs, who possibly see absolutely no future in staying with Uddhav Thackeray, and that's why perhaps they are shifting their loyalty to. If they were to shift their loyalties earlier, they had 50 crore rupees to. Now they are being offered only 15 crore. That is what the gossip is. Now, how much is the amount exactly? Nobody knows.
No, but few journalists have said that 15 crore is the advance amount. The rest of the payment might be made later once they finish the whole operation.
Whatever. No, my point is, if they had not fallen to this allurement in 2022, if they had not, they were not disillusioned with the party in 2022, and they still chose to remain the loyal party soldiers all these 4 years, then suddenly what has happened? Suddenly, why are they now shifting their loyalty to Eknath Shinde's camp? That means possibly, apart from whatever machinations the BJP and Eknath Shinde and all these people do, irrespective of that, there is something lacking in the original party itself. There is something lacking in the leadership of Uddhav Thackeray. That is what we must underscore, and that is one of the main reasons why these people are not seeing any future for them, political future for them, by staying with Uddhav Thackeray. So I think there is a leadership crisis in Shiv Sena.
Vivek, there are reports that people are talking about the fact that these MPs who are switching their allegiance, they weren't happy with Uddhav Thackeray because Uddhav Thackeray was not visiting their constituency. Then there is another tweet of Rajdeep Sardesai, which I found on the social media, and several other people are saying that these MPs were under immense pressure because there was no funding coming from the central government. And apparently they've been threatened that if you need funds for your constituency, you better switch allegiance. How much merit is there in these ideas which are being floated around?
Definitely, that it must be true, because if you are an MP or if you are an MLA, if you're not getting any funds, and if you are not able to deliver anything to your electorate, then it makes absolutely no sense to stay where you are. You need to go to some other place where you will get funds, you will be able to deliver something to your people, because that is what gives you an identity, that is what gives you space in the politics. If you are devoid of all these things, then there is absolutely no point in staying in politics. Either you quit politics or you join some party where you get all these facilities. So that is exactly what these people seem to have decided. Apart from that, what Rajdeep is saying, what some people are saying, what I am also saying, underscoring, is Uddhav Thackeray's leadership is clearly lacking, because it may be the fact that Uddhav Thackeray is not keeping good health. He has 11 stents in his body, and he is unable to move in the manner in which others can move across the state. It's fine, but then that is your problem. Why these MLAs or these MPs should pay the price for it?
But the other side of the story can be that yes, Uddhav has lacked in displaying his leadership, but the brazen game which is played by BJP, the speed, the scale at which this kind of a split is happening, which is totally unconstitutional. Anybody can, just hold a glass and tell you that this is utterly wrong and shameful what is being done. But how many people would take cognizance? I mean, Uddhav's lack of leadership is a bigger story, or the way the split is happening is a bigger story, because it also is a telling commentary on our institutions like the Election Commission, Supreme Court of India. What are the judges doing? Have they closed their eyes to what BJP is doing, especially after seeing what's happened in Bengal?
No, Neelu, I think we have discussed what the BJP is doing, how the institutions have been taken over by BJP. Ad nauseum. We have done these discussions ad nauseum. For years, we have been doing this. For more than 12 years, we have been doing these discussions. And there is absolutely no doubt about the fact that BJP has stolen a march over its political adversaries in a very vicious way, in a very vitriolic way, in a very unconstitutional way that everybody knows. I mean, let's not discuss that anymore. See, if that is the problem, then you have to come out with a solution. And what is the solution? You have to reinvent your politics. You have to do something drastic to change the situation in your favor. If you keep on complaining about what the BJP has been doing, how the BJP has been using unfair means, how the BJP has been using unconstitutional means for years together, then there is going to be no end to it. And you have to reinvent your politics. You have to come out with a charismatic leadership like Rahul Gandhi is doing. See, Rahul Gandhi was also accused of being a part-time politician about a few years ago. But before 2024, Rahul Gandhi realized that he needs to be a different kind of a leader to get the people on his side. So he undertook that huge Bharat Jodo Yatra, a very important milestone in the politics of India, in the political career of Rahul Gandhi. He did a lot of legwork. He did a lot of hard work. He also did a lot of photo ops. He met the deprived sections of the people at different places. He recently went to Nicobar, where he did a diving expedition as well, and he took up the cudgels on behalf of the environmental activists and the people of Nicobar. So he is constantly reinventing himself, and he is showing signs of a very live leader over the last few years. That is exactly what needs to be done by leaders of every opposition party. And Uddhav Thackeray has been very badly lacking that particular initiative. He has not been moving out of Mumbai. I don't know last time when he had come to Vidarbha. So if you are not meeting your people, if you are not meeting your target audience, if you are not meeting your workers on the ground across the state, and then you can't expect the BJP to stay quiet and not pilfer at whatever base you are left with. So that is exactly what the problem of Uddhav Thackeray is. And now there may be some leaders who are constantly doing good politics, like Akhilesh Yadav. But even that kind of politics is a very conventional way of politics. If you are fighting the BJP, you need to become very unconventional, very different. That is exactly what Rahul Gandhi is doing. He is proving to be a very unconventional politics. Many people find it very odd, but that is exactly how you have to fight the BJP. You must look as a proper alternative to the leadership of the BJP, only then, and that is exactly why he got 100 seats in, the Congress got 100 seats in 2024. One short of 100 was the rebel the Congress candidate in Satara. So overall, they had 100. They had a figure of 100. How did it come about? It came about with the innovative politics, with innovative narratives coming to the fore, like Samvidhan Bachao and all. So that is exactly how you have to do it. Now
No,
we
you
have
were
to go
right in a
further.
way. I also want to come to this symbolism of the Operation Tiger around 19th of June. That happens to be the foundation, the 60th foundation day of the Shiv Sena, a party which was founded by Balasaheb Thackeray. Now, if these six MPs also get inducted into the Shinde camp, what kind of an enormous symbolic value will it carry, and especially on that day, because it means that Shinde gets stronger, Mahayuti gets stronger, and what happens to Uddhav then?
You see, if after the 2022 split, Shiv Sena, led by Uddhav Thackeray, has not been able to uh, gather any public momentum. Now, after this second split, what do you expect Uddhav Thackeray to do? I think it's the end of the road for Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray. Just as Raj Thackeray has fallen behind in Maharashtra's politics many years ago, I think it's time for Uddhav Thackeray to call it quits. If he is unable to reinvent his politics, do something beyond what he has been doing over the years, then I think there is no further. Uh, there's no light at the end of the tunnel for Shiv Sena. So, first split, okay. After that, you did not bring about any drastic changes in your politics. You did not bring about any visible change in your politics. You continue to do politics in the same conventional way which you are doing prior to 2024 split, and you virtually remained incommunicado. You virtually remained out of public glare. So how do you expect this not to happen after 4 years? And once this happens, now there is no further chance for Uddhav Thackeray to recover the lost ground.
Are there possibilities, Vivek, that these six or rather seven MPs, whatever number of MPs are crossing over or switching their allegiance, are there any chances that they might come back? Because I was reading somewhere on the social media that Uddhav Thackeray is speaking to one of the industrialists who might help him to, wean back these MPs back into the Uddhav camp. How far are these reports correct?
If you are going to get those MPs back, giving them allurement of money, there is no point. What kind of a party you will be after they come back because of the allurement of money? What kind of a party you will be? What kind of Shiv Sena you will be leading? Full of people who want only money, and they have absolutely no other loyalty, no loyalty to the party's ideology, no loyalty to the party's leader, and they have loyalty only to money. I don't think any allurement of money by any industrialist who is on Shiv Sena's side or Uddhav Thackeray's side is going to get them back now. Because it's not just for money they are. If they were to go for only money, they would have gone 4 years back. That is exactly what I've been saying. See, if they stayed put with Uddhav Thackeray in 2022, they did not switch their loyalty.
What I'm surprised, Vivek, is that couldn't Uddhav Thackeray see all these MPs drifting away from the party?
I don't know if I don't much know about Uddhav Thackeray's style of politics. If this has happened the second time, only he is to blame for it. I don't think you can blame Shinde Sena or BJP more for it than you can blame Uddhav Thackeray. I think there is something awfully lacking in your leadership, in your style of politics. These people who stayed put with you despite that split, you could not keep your flock together despite that experience. It means that there is something terribly wrong with your brand of politics, your way of politics. That's the only conclusion I can draw. Of course,
but there is another factor, Vivek, everyone is talking about, that these MPs were feeling very helpless because there was pressure on them, and now that pressure was coming from the center or that pressure was coming from Shinde, we do not know. But people and senior journalists on the social media are writing about the fact that these MPs were told categorically in very clear words that if you don't switch allegiance, we will stop sending you the funds. I mean, the funding for their constituency. So what does an MP or an MLA do if he's threatened in this manner?
There are two things that such MPs and MLAs can do. Either still remain loyal to the party, their original party, or switch loyalty. Now, if they have chosen to switch loyalty, that means they have absolutely nothing to do with the party's leadership and with the party's ideology. you have to remain very resolved in your mind to fight the might of the BJP and its alliance partners. If you don't stay put, if you don't have that resolve to fight the BJP, come what may, then this is exactly what will happen to you. It clearly shows that these MPs and these MLAs did not have the nerve to fight the BJP. They did not want to fight the BJP. They collapsed at the end of these 4 years. They decided that enough is enough. We have to go to the other side. Otherwise, we are finished. Now, they were looking for their own political future. They did not want to. They did not want their politics to end, and they wanted to continue in politics. That is why they are switching loyalty. If they were to be the loyal soldiers of Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray, and if they were fighting for their party's survival and their party's ideology, they would not have been influenced by this kind of blackmailing by BJP and its alliance partners. They would have stayed put. They would have continued their fight and waited for that day when the power would have come back. I mean, that is exactly what any loyal soldier would do. Like the three people who are still with Uddhav Thackeray, the three MPs, Anil Desai, Arvind Sawant, and Raut. These people are still there with it because they are not concerned about money. They are not concerned about funds. They are only concerned about the party and party's ideology. They are loyal soldiers. These people are no more there. They want to continue in politics. They want to remain in politics. They want to survive in politics. So they have switched loyalties. For 4 years, they stayed put with Uddhav Thackeray. Now they can no more do that. So they have now decided to leave the party and join the BJP's bandwagon. That is exactly what I feel is the situation now.
No, but Vivek, now it's constitutional or unconstitutional. Nobody is even looking at that part because it's like a given that if BJP is there, it's going to be unconstitutional. But this Operation Tiger, it seems, is just not merely a Maharashtra-centric development. It appears to be a broader national strategy. Do you think that this is a strategy to strengthen the NDA in the coming months?
Yeah, I think they will do it with every party, and we have discussed this issue also several times. See, they have been doing it for last 12 years. They have split so many parties, and they started with Maharashtra, of course, and they chose to split a party which was Hindutva-based party. So their own ideology was there, which in Shiv Sena, and yet they chose to split the Shiv Sena first, and then they came to NCP, and then to other parties in other states. So how they have been gobbling up regional parties that everybody knows, and they will continue to do that in the years to come. Now it is for the opposition to reinvent themselves, to reinvent their politics, do their politics in a different way, in a way which will kind of keep BJP guessing as to like the BJP keeps the opposition guessing now. The opposition needs to do their politics in a way which will keep the BJP guessing about what the opposition does. So you have to somehow desperately come out with something novel in your way of politics, and until you do that, and unless you do that, I think the BJP will continue to gobble up the remaining regional parties. People say the next in line is Samajwadi Party. Now let's see what will happen. Uttar Pradesh elections will be coming up very soon, and if I will not be shocked and I will not be surprised if Samajwadi Party also splits, and a large chunk of them will go with the BJP. So I will not be surprised. If it doesn't happen, it will be good for Indian politics. But if it happens, I will not be surprised. I will only be very sorry to know that the opposition and to see that the opposition continues the same old style of politics with the BJP and doesn't do anything different, anything novel to counter the BJP's politics.
What Vivek, is that each of these MPs, and that's how BJP functions, that they've made dossiers of every MP. And that has become an arm-twisting dossier for every MP. That's what is being discussed widely in Delhi. Now, if that is the case, what does an MP do? Now, we do not know what is there inside those dossiers, whether those are photographs or some other blackmailing material. We do not know. But what we are told is that there is a dossier for every MP which is ready. Now, how far that's true, I don't know, but there is a discussion on that.
Now, if there is a dossier about me, say, for example, then I have no other way So what should the MP do? He should not indulge in anything which will give them a chance to prepare your negative dossier. So if you have been doing all these things and if they have your dossier, then you have to pay the price for it. I mean, that it is as simple as that. If I had not done anything wrong, anything bad, then they will not be able to create any dossier about me. They can slap false charges on me. That's okay. Then my option is to fight it out. Many people did, like Kejriwal did. He went in jail. He stayed in jail for 3-4 months. He fought it out. So you have to do it that way. So there are some loyal soldiers of Kejriwal who were in jail for months and years, but they chose to fight it out. That is exactly what you need to do. If you are afraid of the BJP, you either leave politics or you join the BJP. These are the only two options. Otherwise, you have to fight it out. Yes.
But this Maharashtra split, the Bengal split, what does it do to the national politics? It seems that this is a big churning time for the opposition MPs. But how do you look at the things from the BJP and the NDA's perspective? Are they trying to consolidate their position for in the run-up to the UP elections, in the run-up to all the state elections, and also eventually 2029? Is that the way they are trying to consolidate themselves? And I wouldn't be surprised if even before 2029, if this is the speed and the scale at which they are going, they might cross the 400 par number even before 2029 elections.
Yes, there is that danger of the past, actually overtaking opposition parties that way. That's going to happen. They want their agenda to be implemented fully and finally, and create a Hindu Rashtra of their dreams. That is exactly what they're doing. If they get more than 400 supporters, they might change the constitution. Who knows? So they are planning everything very well and they are executing their plans very well. The opposition has to now come out with something which will prevent the BJP from achieving what they want to achieve. And what is that brand of politics which the opposition has to innovate and reinvent? That the opposition has to put together their heads and come out with some sort of a solution which will see them through in 2029. What the only outside chance of the opposition being able to defeat the BJP in 2029 is if the public opinion against the BJP crosses a critical level of negativity, then there might be some extempore, pouring out on the street by the public against the BJP, like what we are witnessing in case of Cockroach Janata Party now. It seems people have started coming out on the streets, but will that go to a critical level where the BJP would be forced out of power? That is something which nobody knows. What kind of turn of events will take place over the next 3 years till the 2029 elections? What kind of politics will opposition do and what will the BJP do? These are all questions in the realm of uncertainty and we do not know anything about it as yet. But what we know for sure is the BJP is going to try every trick to stick to power, remain in power and strengthen their power. And that is exactly what the opposition's benchmark should be. What the BJP can do, already know what the BJP can do. So you have to readjust to the real politics of the country. You have to reframe and do everything in a novel way, in an innovative way in your brand of politics and try to beat the BJP at its own game. So how are you going to do it? Whether you are going to do it at all or not, that is a question that remains unanswered. But for now, the situation looks very, very grim for the opposition.
Absolutely. And grim for the opposition and grimmer for Uddhav Thackeray, because we do not know what's going to really happen to his party and his existence, the political existence I'm talking about. So we'll have to keep a close watch on what's happening. It was Bengal and now it's Maharashtra. Who knows which state is coming next? And already murmurs are on that Akhilesh might be the next victim and Samajwadi Party could be the next victim. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining on HW. Thank you.
Thank you.